Welcome to Macarium. In this video, you'll witness a truly stunning display of traditional Chinese woodworking and joinery. The ground was cleared of excess debris and leveled using a tractor. The main base slab was prepared with cement to ensure a solid and stable foundation. The entire structure will be constructed using timber and the traditional mortise and tenon method, old traditional joinery. The rough edges of the wooden logs are being shaped with hand and electric tools to smooth out imperfections and prepare for precise cuts. The creator measures carefully and marks where cuts are needed, and with a steady hand uses a chainsaw to follow the marked lines. Concrete cubes were placed on the slab at equal intervals. These will serve as the base for the house's wooden frame. They play a vital role, allowing for proper ventilation and protecting the house from moisture. A mortise and tenon joint is a simple yet ingenious way to connect two pieces of wood. The joint consists of two primary components, the mortise and the tenon. The joint works by inserting the tenon into the mortise in another piece, creating a strong mechanical connection that resists pulling and twisting forces. Instead of screws and nails, they custom fit each joint so that they fit together perfectly like a puzzle. When building using the mortise and tenon method, precise measurement and absolute accuracy are essential. This becomes especially important during the framing stage, as the frame serves as the central axis of the entire house. In conventional construction, the frame is made of reinforced concrete, which guarantees strength through steel and cement. But in this method, structural strength depends entirely on the precision and compatibility of each joint. One of the final and most important stages is preparing the house for roofing. Sturdy roof beams are carefully installed. These will hold the flat planks that form the base of the roof. This wooden base will later support the final roofing material, securing it in place. Trimming the excess parts completes the framing of both the house and the roof. Construction now begins on a smaller wing next to the main building. Just like before, concrete cubes are positioned evenly across the slab to form the foundation. With the help of a crane, the wooden frame is mounted on them. Of course, the construction method remains the same. Well-dried and treated timber, joined using the traditional mortise and tenon technique. Additional wooden partitions are also installed, further reinforcing the stability of the frame. It's time to lay the roofing tiles on the frame. Along with the ordinary tiles, verge, ridge, and hip tiles can be applied to the roof. These are usually added after the main courses of tiles for a much more aesthetically pleasing finish. Other decorative accessory tiles, such as finials, are often used at the top of a roof or over porches for a more unique aesthetic. The tiles are laid using the overlapping method. This technique ensures proper coverage and protection against the elements. Each row of tiles overlaps the one below it to create a watertight seal, allowing rainwater to flow off without leaking. End caps can be added to the ends of the ridges to cover up the end sections, providing extra protection for the tile work and giving the roof a professional, finished look. A bandsaw machine is installed for cutting the dry wooden logs into planks of equal size. The bark must be removed from the planks, as this is where woodworms typically nest. Woodworms should not be allowed to infest the building. This is absolutely unacceptable. If the woodworms settle in, they will begin to eat the wood from the inside, damaging the structure. This can compromise the building's integrity, causing the structure to become unstable and eventually unable to endure over time. Precision is crucial, especially when using the mortise and tenon joint method. The dimensions of the planks should be the same size to be matched perfectly at the joints. This is important not only for structural strength, but also from an aesthetic standpoint. So, the wooden walls are already being installed, dividing the general space into smaller areas. The laser line level is an essential tool for ensuring precision. Right now, the builder is using this tool to make marks, ensuring that the connection points will be cut and joined correctly. To lay the first floor, wooden beams need to be installed between the frame to act as the axis. The accuracy of the floor depends on the correct installation of these so-called rails. Again, the mortise and tenon should be cut perfectly to be joined firmly. Underneath the beams, concrete building blocks are placed to reduce vibration later on. The builder runs wires beneath the floor, placing them inside protective pipes to prevent any damage. This will create the wiring network beneath the floor. Once the subfloor work is completed, the installation of the floorboards will begin. The planks must be cut and sized precisely to fit perfectly in the given space, leaving a small gap of a few millimeters from the wall in case the planks expand due to high humidity. They won't damage the adjacent wall. Now the installation of the second floor flooring begins. The builder cleans the wood surface using an electric sander, removes any splinters, and creates a smooth finish. The beams of the second floor also serve as the ceiling of the first floor. That's why they must be finished to perfection, so they don't compromise the aesthetics of the interior. The flooring method is the same as previously. Leaving a small gap of a few millimeters from the wall is a must. As the floor is being installed, both interior and exterior partitions are being mounted. Boards are placed between vertical supports so that they slide easily into position at the joints and fit securely. This same method is used to install the interior walls of the attic. To separate the room's ceiling from the attic, a dividing wooden layer is added. As always, beams are necessary for structural stability, while wooden planks are used to fill in the empty space. So, the ceiling installation of the second floor is nearly complete. When it comes to fitting pieces into hard-to-reach or curved spaces, the carpenter takes a wooden stick with a pencil attached at one end. He traces the curve by rotating around the post, keeping the pencil at a fixed radius. This leaves a clean, accurate line to follow. Then, using a power saw, he cuts along the line, and the piece fits the wall perfectly. Even though the house is being built entirely out of wood, certain areas still require concrete block construction. These sections are usually reserved for wet zones, like restrooms. Because of the high humidity in these spaces, wood wouldn't hold up well over time. Once the walls are built, the next step is installing the roof slab. To achieve this, the builder sets up a metal frame, creates a mesh-like structure, and then fills it with a sand-cement mixture. Leveling the surface is a crucial step. The builder must make sure there are no gaps left in the metal mesh. So, the surface is leveled and the walls are plastered, both inside and out. Stairs are one of the most essential elements of this project. While precision is always important, every measurement must be exact. The process begins by measuring the total height of the area where the staircase will be installed. This is known as the total rise. That number is then divided by the standard rise per step to determine the total number of steps required. Next, the slots for each step are carefully cut out using a miter saw, then refined with a woodworking chisel to ensure a perfect fit for every step. The second stringer is prepared using the exact same process. The standard rise per step is typically between 17 and 20 centimeters, and the tread depth is a minimum of 23 centimeters to ensure that there is enough space for the average foot to land comfortably and safely. To maximize structural strength, wooden braces are added to connect and reinforce the two stringers from both sides. Once the support structure is secure, the treads and risers are fitted into place. The second stringer is installed so the staircase is assembled and attached to the upper floor. For an aesthetic, modern look, LED lighting is added beneath each step. An electrician installs a hidden wiring system throughout the staircase, then connects the lights to a central power distribution board. To enhance the overall aesthetic and provide structural support, the space beneath the staircase will be enclosed with wooden paneling. This not only creates a clean, finished look, but also transforms an otherwise unused area into a practical storage solution. It's a smart way to maximize functionality without sacrificing style. Step lighting not only adds a modern, elegant touch, but also creates a striking visual effect, turning the structure into a stunning point of the space. While it's technically possible to build stairs without handrails, doing so significantly compromises safety. Handrails are a critical component of any staircase. They are installed along one or both sides of the stairway to provide a secure, easy-to-grasp surface. Beyond safety, handrails also add structure and visual appeal to the staircase, making them both a functional and aesthetic feature of the design. In this case, since one side of the staircase is positioned directly against a wall, it naturally provides support and safety. So only the open side of the stairs requires a handrail. Proper alignment and tight connections are essential for long-term stability and user safety. All joints must be fitted with precision. Attention to these structural details not only enhances safety, but also contributes to a clean, high-quality finish. The builder crafts the door and window frames. To achieve a seamless connection, the mortises and tenons are made at the ends of the panels, and the inner sides are cut at a 45-degree angle. This ensures the joints fit together neatly. The open area designed to let light in will be fitted with a decorative mesh. To create the mesh frame, the wood panels are carefully notched without compromising the integrity of the panel. Once the notches are made, each one is fitted with a second cut panel, ensuring a smooth, uniform design. The measurements for the mesh are crucial to ensure a perfect fit and an aesthetically pleasing result. The other part of the mesh will be equipped with a sliding mechanism, allowing it to open and close easily. The design for both the door and window frames is identical, ensuring a cohesive look throughout the space. The main space has now been enclosed, creating a large, expansive hall filled with the warmth and light of the sun. The next step is finishing work. Every detail must be carefully smoothed using an electric sander to achieve a uniform surface free from any imperfections. Any gaps in the wood should be filled. To do this, wood-colored filler is mixed with pigment and applied to the gaps, ensuring a seamless finish. The builder then uses an air release device to clear the surface of dust, making sure everything is spotless before moving on to the next step. Now, it's time to begin the spray painting process. The sprayer is prepared with a clear, colorless varnish that will protect the wood and help preserve its natural beauty. Once the first layer of clear varnish is applied, the time has come to add a colored finish. The builder selects a pigment that will give the wood a rich, luxurious appearance. The pigment is mixed into the base coat and then applied to the surface with a spray machine, ensuring an even coat. This painting process is applied to every detail in the house, from the ceiling and floors to the stairs, windows, and doors. This method of painting is used both for interior and exterior surfaces. The treatment of the exterior is especially important, as environmental factors, whether rain, cold, or intense sunlight, can have a significant impact on the front. For the best results, applying 2 coats of paint is the ideal solution, providing both durability and a flawless finish. The painted doors and windows are now ready to be reinstalled in their proper places. The carpenters ensure that the stationary parts are securely fitted into the main frame, ensuring they remain solid and immovable. For the movable door, it must slide smoothly along a set of rails. A sliding mechanism is attached, which operates on rollers, allowing the door to glide effortlessly. The craftsmen attach one part of the mechanism to the door itself and the other to the frame. Once aligned and adjusted, the door fits perfectly, opening and closing with ease. Before the final flooring layer is installed, the building's electrical network needs to be set up beneath the first layer of the floor. All wiring is gathered into the special plastic pipes that run throughout the entire house, providing the power source in each room. After that, the smaller size beams are fixed on the first layer of the floor, which helps to install the second one. The builder cleans the whole space with a vacuum cleaner. For the flooring itself, high-quality wood is used, and its surface is treated to match the interior design. During installation, there's no need to leave a gap between the floor and the walls, as the wood has been thoroughly dried and treated. This allows it to be installed directly against the wall without any risk of expansion or damage. In each room, wires are pulled up through the floor to the designated spots where electrical outlets and power sources will be installed. Once the floor covering is fully laid, the transformation is complete, and the space gains an incredible sense of beauty. Every detail, whether in color or style, harmonizes perfectly, adding a seamless, elegant finish to the interior. Once the house is completed, the next step is to furnish the interior. The carpenter begins with the bedroom, making a wooden bed. As in previous projects, precision is key. He selects the right-sized wooden planks, marks them according to the sketch, and then begins cutting them using the drilling machine. These are the main components of the bed frame. For added accuracy, the cuts are refined with a woodworking chisel to ensure a perfect fit. Before assembling these parts, the wood glue is applied to the joints. In the cut sections, horizontal wooden pieces will be inserted to form the bed structure. This ensures the bed will be sturdy and stable. To build the headboard, several planks are prepared to fit together. The sides are curved to interlock with each other. Once the pieces are ready, glue is applied, and the components are tightly clamped in place. The glue needs time to dry to ensure a solid bond. During this drying period, the carpenter works on the headboard frame. The joints are cut at a 45-degree angle, then carefully joined together. The same process is repeated for the footboard, which is a little shorter than the headboard. Once the frame is assembled, the bed is given its first lay of light paint using a spray machine. After the first layer dries, a second darker one is applied to enhance the finish. Finally, the bed is carefully placed in the bedroom. To add extra stability, the carpenter installs side panels and places the mattress on top. The result is a beautifully crafted, sturdy bed that perfectly complements the room's design. The kitchen is one of the most important spaces in the home. So let's build a place where all family members spend a significant amount of time. Here, the floor level is too low. That's why the area must first be filled with soil to achieve a correct height. Once filled, the surface is carefully leveled and compacted firmly to ensure a stable and even foundation. After the surface is properly prepared, a sand and cement mixture is created for stretching the floor. This forms a smooth and solid base for the final floor covering. Now begins the construction of one of the most important parts of the kitchen, the smokeless stove. A section of the floor was cut out to install the plumbing system. In other marked areas, the stove construction has started. Brick is the best material for withstanding high temperatures, which makes it an ideal choice for this part of the build. This is a traditional stove, and its construction requires specific techniques. This type of stove relies entirely on craftsmanship, from the careful placement of fire bricks to the design of internal channels. To create a supporting surface, the builder uses a granite slab reinforced with rebar and a concrete mixture to ensure strength and durability. It also serves as a perfect spot for placing kitchen items or tools. To help the stove retain heat for longer periods, its outer sides are filled with compacted soil. This added insulation traps warmth inside the structure, making the stove more efficient. Once filled, the surface is smoothly plastered to seal the heat and give the stove a clean, finished look. To prepare family-sized meals, a large wok must be installed on the surface. The craftsman begins by marking the radius of the wok, then constructs the upper platform using fire-resistant bricks. In the heart of rural China, tradition and innovation unite to create the smokeless stove. Crafted from locally sourced bricks and clay, the stove's construction begins with a solid foundation, ensuring durability and excellent heat retention. The center of the stove is left open to allow for the heat to rise freely. To help the stove retain warmth for extended periods, the outer walls are filled with compacted soil and the entire surface is smoothly plastered. Once the body of the stove is complete, rebar is added to the platform. The metal helps retain heat even after the fire dies down, maintaining a steady cooking temperature. Together, the two stoves create a highly efficient cooking station capable of handling multiple tasks at once. So, the same method is used to build the second stove. And now, both are carefully plastered inside and out, ensuring a clean finish and lasting performance. The area where the wok will be installed must first be filled with concrete to ensure a solid and stable base. The craftsman then marks the granite slab, carefully tracing the exact size of the wok to cut a precise opening. Once prepared, the granite is secured onto the surface. The sturdy, heat-resistant qualities of granite make it an ideal choice for this task, offering both practicality and beauty. To complete the installation, the entire stove, both the top and side sections, is covered with smooth granite slabs, creating a cohesive and polished appearance. This layer of granite not only enhances the stove's durability, but also provides a sleek, modern finish. The next step is the installation of tiles in the kitchen. The straight lines and exact spacing between the tiles are the must. The same technique is applied when tiling the walls. Next, the kitchen deck is being installed. The granite tiles are cut to the required dimensions and securely fixed with a cement mixture. The sink is mounted in the cutout area. For added surface strength, a thick layer of cement is applied, followed by the placement of rebar, and then covered again with cement and granite tiles. The chimney must be correctly installed to ensure proper airflow. Once that's complete, the kitchen is equipped with appliances. The gas stove is set into the counter. A compact stainless steel sink provides easy access for washing and some work, while a modern faucet adds both convenience and style. The creator pours water into the wok and plans to test it to see how quickly it heats up. Now, it's time to test the stove. He lights the fire and observes the airflow and combustion inside the oven. Everything seems to be in order. The chimney is working properly, drawing smoke efficiently, and the water reaches a boil, showing that the heat distribution is strong and consistent. To protect the interior space from moisture, a ventilation system should be installed. Large corrugated pipes are mounted in the ceiling connected to the hood. This helps prevent steam from accumulating in the room while cooking. The creator chooses natural stone for the bathroom sink. Processing such a large stone slab is no easy task. It requires patience, precision, and care. The work demands time, but safety is equally important. As the stone is shaped, it breaks into fine dust and small particles, making protective gear essential. Using an electric breaker, the inner part of the stone is carefully carved out, then cleaned and refined. A special polishing solution is applied, smoothing the surface and giving it a clean, refined finish. Finally, a circular drill is used to create an opening at the center, preparing the stone for the installation of a drainage pipe. Next, a cabinet is needed to mount the sink. This old cabinet is perfectly usable. First, the craftsman treats it with a sander to remove the old damaged paint. Then, he polishes surface using an electric sander. He cuts the stands to the desired size and installs shelves and doors to create storage space in the cabinet. To give a darker effect, the surface can be lightly burned using a torch. The burnt layer must be completely removed from the wood, so it is first brushed off, and then is being cleaned using an air release device. The cabinet frame is assembled, and now it's time to apply the first coat of colorless lacquer to the surface. For the upper part of the cabinet, a full wooden surface is required. To achieve this, the creator uses an old method. Once the pieces are ready, applies a glue and clamps the components tightly. After the glue dries, the wooden plank can be cut to the desired size and fit in the necessary place. He burns the surface lightly again, just like the cabinet, and cleans of any dust. Then the stone sink is trimmed where the faucet will be installed. Next, the areas on the cabinet surface are marked where cuts need to be made for the final installation of the sink. Only the finishing touches remain. The cabinet is painted with a dark-colored paint, and handles are attached to the doors. So, the storage space is ready for all the bathroom items. The stone sink perfectly fits the renovated cabinet. The drain pipe and faucet are finally installed on the sink. The bathroom really needed the new sink. To complete the interior, shelves are placed on the wall, and a mirror is hung above the sink. A stone that seemed useless at first glance now has become the centerpiece of the space, adding both beauty and character to the design. In this episode, we saw a house built with amazing craftsmanship using the traditional mortise and tenon method. Truly a masterpiece. We also explored the interior finishing work, crafted furniture, and bathroom and kitchen setups.